Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. I think I have everything all set up here. Welcome to today's clearing and activation work. It is March 23rd, and it has been a really interesting day. So I got home in the wee hours of the morning on Sunday morning. I drove most of Saturday, and I left later than I'd wanted to. But I got home okay, which was awesome. And what was so funny though was I get home and I'd forgotten I had absolutely no food in the refrigerator. I had a box of baking soda, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go get something to eat. And I had stuff in the freezer that and things that I had brought back with me. But I'm like, I do not want to go out. Yesterday, I was just so tired, and I was like, I am not going out. I'll just go out on Monday. So I did, and you've got to have food. You've got to have groceries. Well, it was interesting because over the weekend, what had been stocked was no longer in stock, and a lot of the stores. I went to 3 different stores. They were out of stuff. I mean, really out of a lot of like dairy and cheese and most everybody had plenty of produce, but some of the other canned things and jarred foods and things like that just were not in. They just didn't have them. So and I use heavy whipping cream in my coffee, and I'm back on my keto diet anyway for the most part. So I digress. So what was interesting was watching how other people in the store, we would approach each other with this cart, and this really anxious look would be on people's faces, and I'm smiling, and it's like, how are you doing? And there was this kind of darting eye look and anxiousness, and they would pull way over to the side of the aisle, and you see most of them hold their breath and hurry past. And I thought, people are still in such profound fear, and there's still this sense of shortage. And you may have heard my rant Saturday night while I was driving about all of the trucks that were on the road, and please quit hoarding. That although there was no please in there, was like, for God's sake, stop it. But it was interesting that the shoppers today were mostly calm. There wasn't a lot of anxiousness in the stores, except for when people would come together in the aisles, and then they're like, oh my gosh, hurry past, and it made me kind of smile. It actually made me kind of smile. So anyway, shopping day, I have no makeup on, and I thought, I need to get home. And I called different places. I didn't have any rice or some of the gluten-free things that I need, and what was interesting was this sense of, well, what if I'm wrong? What if the supply chain really is broken? What if, oh my gosh, and I found myself going into anxiety. So I want to clear some anxiety with everybody, and was also talking to some friends over the weekend, and several of them are buying concealed weapons, which is fine, whatever it is. But there's an underlying sense that I can feel in the collective that is one of great fear. And especially as the National Guard here in the United States gets deployed to help with food distribution, to help with all kinds of different things. There's also a sense of losing more freedoms. And a lot of the headlines are sensationalizing as well, talking about losing freedoms. So I want to talk about all of the energies that have kind of been brought up since we were last Friday. And my email got delayed because my team my team went home for the weekend, and I didn't get it to them in a timely manner. So I apologize. I'm glad you got it today. But just take a breath. Let's just take a moment. Let's do our adulting time out. Let's have this collective, this collective breath of what can we do? And how many of you are bored? How many of you are starting to also fight that mental, I'm bored, I don't know what to do? I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet because of the transition between, being with my daughter and then coming back home. And I still have plenty to do. I want to get my taxes all done. And yes, in the United States, they extended the tax deadline to July 15th. I still want to get them done by the time that, by the normal date. And there's a ton of things that I can do while I'm here. So I haven't hit that boredom space, but I've heard from many of my friends and colleagues and people in my community that they're struggling with, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next. So let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that energy of anxiety, everything that has come up that has been triggered since last Friday when we were here and clearing. Oh, yeah, there's some stuff. There's a lot of collective stuff in here. All of the ways that the changing picture, the changing landscape of this whole situation is creating more anxiety, more uncertainty. All of the ways that we're more on edge in a way, but in a more subtle way. Does that make sense? It's like the big panic's over, but now there's this underlying kind of thing that I'm feeling that is more, not sure what the right word is. It's like the background music. We're waiting for someone or something to jump out in that movie, and the violins have played, but it's gone on for a little bit too long, and it's not quite causing the same level of profound anxiety, but it is causing anxiety. There's something underneath that we can all feel. And so what is that? What is that anxiety? What is that level of frustration, that level of, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And as I brought my groceries into the house, I had a neighbor from across the street that has a big farm and raises animals, and he came over and we were talking, and he said, there's a lot of panic out there. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of frustration. And so what are all of the ways then that we're getting ready for the long haul, or we can't quite believe that we're in this locking down, shutting down, and the anxiety around money, the anxiety around the economy, the anxiety around, what am I going to do with my kids? What am I going to do with my parents? What am I going to do with me? How am I going to handle my retirement? How am I going to make my money? How am I going to, all of the what am I going to do energies. And what am I going to do if this lasts a lot longer? That's the question that has come up significantly in conversations over the last few days. They said it was going to be for 2 or 3 weeks. Well, what are we going to do if it's 12 or 16 or more? So that, all of the anxiety that kind of brought up, all of the uncertainty, all of the fear, let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that, and drop down into your body. Drop down into your physical body, and I want you to notice where those feelings are. What is the emotion? What is your brain telling you? There we go. And is it your brain that's talking, or are you picking up on all of the collective? Because many of us have open emotional centers. Many of us, I have a very open emotional center in my human design, which means that I generally don't run my own emotions. I'm running someone or something else's. So, but there are 50% of the population do have an emotional authority in their human design. And so if you are emotionally generated and you're on this up and down loop of fear, I'm okay, frustration, I'm okay, that, and this back and forth, but being in that emotional state, it makes it really difficult. And then, you know, there are many mental projectors out there who are thinking about this, and it just creates these thoughts and this over and over and over and over and over and over and over anxiety creating. But because if you're a mental projector, and that's when the top part of excuse me, the mind is activated and the ajna center is activated and nothing else is activated. So what happens with all of those open energy centers is it's amplifying all of the energy of everybody else who has activated centers throughout the rest of the body. And especially for those of you who are emotionally generated, any of us who have open centers are actively activating you, whether we're conscious of it or not. So, and it's interesting, there are many of us, when I was talking to my neighbor, I said, I'm more concerned about what's going to happen to people, you know, when they learn that this is going to get worse. I said, I can handle my own emotions. I can handle, you know, I'm ready and I'm prepared for, you know, sequestering for a while if I need to, which I will do. But I'm concerned about, and Robert said the same thing here, and just, you know, in the comments, he said, I'm more worried about what's going to happen in large cities, especially living 45 miles east of Los Angeles. And that, I think, really is the big question. So what can we do as infinite beings, as conscious creators? Let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that uncertainty and that growing underlying unease of the masses. And let's begin just putting some oil on the waters. You know, and in scripture it talks about the balm of Gilead. Let's just put some balm on this. Let's send in the energy of peacefulness and reason and cool-headedness. Take a big breath. And let's apply all of that reason, the calmness, collectedness, the tranquility, the serenity to ourselves. And I want you to put your fingers like this. So the thumb connected with the little finger and the ring finger. And then these two fingers, put them on I call them the pointy points of the forehead. And take a deep breath in. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And as you breathe out, release. Take a breath in. And release. Take a breath in. And can you feel how your central nervous system is beginning to release? It's beginning to relax. There we go. And if you want, you can put all 4 of your fingers here and your thumbs kind of on your temples. This is another way to do it. And release. And just bring in that calmness, that tranquility, peacefulness. Go back to reason, cooperation, positive collaboration. There we go. And self-reliance. What can you do? What energy, awareness, and frequency can you your body and your being be to be present. And you can let go whenever you want. If it feels good, you can continue to do that. And I'd also like to do a little round of tapping to get some of this energy up and out of our bodies. So starting with the karate chop point, what energy, awareness, and frequency can me, my body, my being be to release this frustration, this anxiety, this fear, this collective and global unease? I'm feeling this in my body and in my being, and I choose to release it. I can feel, and switch to the other hand, I can feel all of this energy. It may be mine, I may be reacting to other people's, and I may be reacting to the collective. But I'm choosing to release all of this energy now. And I love, approve of, and forgive myself. Let's tap through the points, shall we? Oh, all of this energy, all of this fear, all of this anxiety, all of this craziness, all of this unprecedented energy, the uncertainty, the grieving for what's lost or what's perceived as loss. Under the arm, all of the sadness, the loneliness, top of your head, the isolation, around your ears, all of these emotions that are so big. I just don't know what to do. And I'm afraid. And I'm bored. I'm so overwhelmed. I just want to stop and sit. I feel overwhelmed and I want to sleep. And yet I don't want to sleep, and my sleep is interrupted. And I'm afraid. And I don't know what people are going to do, and that scares me even more. Because I trust that I can get through this. What if things get worse? What if things last longer than we think it does? That it's going to. There we go. On the hands. What if it gets way worse? And what if people riot? And what if we get locked down? And what if? And what if? And what if? And let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that what if energy and how it's replicating, and continue to tap. Let's get this energy up and out of your body. There you go. All of the uncertainty, all of this monotony, the fatigue I feel, the concern, all of this feeling of disgruntlement and vexation. All of this feeling of, I just don't know what to do. Let's find all of that. We're going to stop any and all replication processes faster than they can replicate here. And continue to tap through the points. So I may not be able to do anything about this right now. I know I can't control others, especially when I'm here in my own home. What I can do is feel my feelings. And it's okay to feel my feelings. Okay to be afraid. I don't like that feeling. But it's still okay because it's real. It's honest. It's what's present. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to wonder. It's okay to worry. It's okay to have those feelings, but I don't have to stay in them because I can choose to let them go. I can choose to feel better. I may not know how right now. And maybe in this clearing work, in this tapping, in this clearing work, I can figure it out. Take a breath in. So what do I want to feel? I'd like to feel safe. I'd like to feel more secure. I want to feel peaceful inside. And so I'm going to choose. I choose to acknowledge my feelings. And I choose to also step into the awesome energy, awareness, and frequency of my infinite being that knows how to shift out of this doom and gloom, out of this fear and anxiety, and into something that is more peaceful. I'm going to choose to be the creator being that I know I am. And I'm going to choose to take the energy that is up in the collective and to begin to transform and transmute my piece of it. And we're going to let it go. And we're going to be in peace. And we're going to be in strength. And peacefulness, not just peace, but peacefulness, that inner serenity. I'm going to choose to be in appreciation for this time out, for the opportunities that it gives to me. And I'm going to just tap here on this, on these points on the collarbone area. I'm going to choose to count my blessings. I'm going to choose calmness. And I'm going to choose to self-comfort. I'm going to choose to be constructive, to be creative, to think outside of the box. I'm going to create the energy of feeling considerate of my own feelings and considerate of others, if and when I have any interaction with them. I choose courage and determination and connection, collaboration. I choose love. I choose compassion. I choose to be encouraged, enriched. I choose to be ethical, to be in faith, to understand that freedom, sovereignty is within. True freedom is the freedom to choose your outcome. What do you want? I choose to live in that place of fun, to get up and dance, to move my body and process some of this energy. I choose gentleness for myself and others. I choose health. And right now I am activating each one of your immune systems for optimal health and well-being, for pure vitality. And let's bring in the essence of hope and hospitality, of intelligence, divine intelligence, joy, laughter, life, love, kindness, and kind-heartedness. And resolve, allowing that there is a resolve, a quick resolve for this. We're going to clear out the hype, all the garbage. We're going to clear, transform, flash, burn, purify, and sterilize all of those non-beneficial streams, data streams, time streams, slip streams, consciousness streams, all of the synthetic realities that are trying to be overlaid on us, through us, with us, on our in, on, around, and through our monetary, personal, and global monetary systems. We're going to clear all of that out as we step into optimism, order, patience, more peace. Let's bring in the energy of perseverance. And it's not just, fighting through. It's that essence of centeredness and groundedness, that inner tensile strength that gives us perspective, that connects us with our inner authority so that we know what to do, we know who to be, that connects us with infinite potentials and possibilities for our own productivity and prosperity. So we stand together in a united purpose of oneness and wholeness, and not the Borg oneness. It's that oneness of spirit that is that indomitable human spirit that is resilient and optimistic and restorative. It's the best of humanity, helping and collaborating with one another, standing strong in the face of anything that doesn't serve, and saying, nope, I'm not going to do that, but I will participate in this. Let's download the frequencies of feeling safe and secure and the satisfaction of knowing that we can and will persevere through this. That we are special and smart and self-sufficient. We're thoughtful and transcendent, thriving. We trust this process. We trust that we have exactly what it takes. Exactly what it takes to get through all of this together. Let's download being uplifted, vivacious, that frequency of warmth and welcome and well-beingness. And put your hand on your heart, and your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your right hand. And just nurture. Feel the love that you have for yourself, that your, whatever you call, your infinite being, your God consciousness, the universe, creator, whatever your belief system is, that something greater than you, within you, is here to express with you and through you. And just receive that information, receive that love, these higher frequencies. And let's download, infuse, implement, and integrate all of these higher frequencies and everything they represent. Let's clear and remove all old limiting patterns and programs, everything that has come up over the weekend, throughout the day. Let's releasing, deleting, eliminating out of every aspect, body, mind, soul, and being, out of your entire experience throughout your bodies, your energy bodies, your souls, your entire beings, throughout your systems, your egos and their systems, their mitochondria, all of their generations and all of their generations and their systems, throughout all of your generations and their systems, throughout our proteins, environments, associations, and entanglements, throughout our personal and the collective consciousness, subconsciousness, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, throughout our personal, planetary, and universal core operating systems, throughout all of our DNAs, RNAs, chromosomes, genes, codons. Let's activate the codon sequencing for optimal health and well-being through every one of your gene sequencings. There we go. Actively choosing these higher frequencies turns off genes for illness, and it turns on genes for wellness. And let's download, infuse, implement, and integrate all of these higher frequencies and everything they represent. Please integrate and anchor them in now as functional skill sets. And continue to receive. And I'm going to just send out some healing energies here, and just give conscious permission to receive if it feels in alignment. Anything that you don't need or that isn't fully aligned with you is simply deleted. There we go. And we're just sending out, I'm sending out, with the help of my higher connection to the divine, these energies that are just uplifting and supporting and soothing. Take a deep breath. Feel that spirit of source. Fill your lungs. And that peace. Just receive. Oh, there's some good energy movement. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Sit in this energy as long as you choose. And we will see you tomorrow. We'll play some more. We'll try to do it later morning instead of later afternoon. I just kind of got sidetracked. So I love you dearly. Hang in there. We are here together, and you are never alone. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.